So this is now the famous Rocky Motors. If you've been looking for slightly used, locally used vehicle, must be a 2012 model. So with this, I anticipate pricings to be like that fair, KDS, Atenza. So at least you can tell. Cycling along the beach front, amazing. Amazing view. And I'll be showing you auction vehicles, very lowly priced auction vehicles. Here, depending on the tonnage, so these are a 2-ton truck, a 3-ton truck, all here for your grab. So these similarly 2-ton. So this is the next car dealership. You've at one point see me display vehicles from here. So these are slightly used high-end luxury units. Buying a used vehicle can either break or make your pockets. So today we'll be doing something very special. So the mission today is to help you identify the best of car dealerships within Mombasa that stocks best used vehicles, and a few of local used vehicles too. I mean foreign used vehicles too. So we'll be cycling right from Mamangina beachfront and right into basically visiting at least 3 car dealerships that stocks used vehicles. So stay tuned. So if you've never been to the Mamangina beachfront, so this is Mombasa, Kenya. Welcome back to Max Gamble TV, amphitheater right here. So as you drive along, perhaps I could have you a brief history on the existence of this of the Mamangina waterfront and where we headed to. So suppose you're looking for locally used vehicles, foreign used vehicles, this is your video. Vehicles as low as below, we'll get vehicles below 500,000, that is sure. We'll first visit the first dealership, and the third dealership stocks the most cheap vehicles. So we headed south from Mamangina beachfront. So this is direction to State House. Similarly, it is the same direction to the famous Fort Jesus, and it is to various administrative centers to include the DC High headquarters. I'll be showing that as we'll walk along. So basically, Mamangina beachfront has evolved from being a historic battleground, a battleground between the Arabs, the Portuguese, and we could have it even for the colonialists. So over time, from 2019, the beachfront has evolved into a modern waterfront. Perfect infrastructural development, you can tell from here. The amphitheater, which hosts a majority of the entertainment events. So in a few minutes we'll be right at the first dealership. Remember, today you have to stay tuned. We'll be visiting at least 3 car dealerships. So perhaps I guess I should show you something. cycling along the beach front. Amazing. Amazing view. So if you're very keen to visit Mamangina beachfront, what stands out is the hidden archaeological history behind. That is to include several slave caves, you must have noticed the native ancient baobab trees, which signifies a preservation of history within here. So shortly you'll be right at the first car dealership. The first car dealership is Kushi Motors. So Kushi Motors happens to be amongst the dealership that stocks both locally used and foreign used vehicles. And for this one, I guess none knows the directions. So we'll try to speed up to catch up with the tuk-tuk. So basically what we're doing is not just about car sourcing, but therapy, sports, and urban cycling. So we'll be doing this for the entire month. I'll be taking you around Mombasa town as I guide you to the most reliable car dealerships. So before the end of the video, I'll let you know why we're doing this. So there we go. To my right hand side is the famous Mombasa Cement Golf Pavilion. To my left, the residentials. And there we go. But before we do that, this is just to let you know on why you have to visit Mamangina beachfront. So basically, remember, this is not about Mamangina beachfront. You can't tell. Amazing view. So this is the best of the views of the ocean. So this is the right spot. If you wish to have the best shot of the Indian Ocean view, then this is the exact point. So this used to be the first old port of Mombasa before it got transferred to the current location. Side by side you can tell luxurious vehicles parked alongside of individuals who just come to enjoy the view of the ocean. And there we get to our first car dealership, which happens to be Kushi Motors. So you're about to be surprised by the types of vehicles that we're about to display. To my immediate right is the DCI police headquarters, and then adjacent after that you'll find the Mombasa State House. But before we get to the State House, let's see what we got here for Kushi Motors hidden vehicle gem. So let's find out what they've got from here. Wewe bro, asa dakika moja tu. Iko sawa. Habari ya mwaka mpya. Acha niondoe vifaa vya kazi. Vifaa vya kazi lazima.
Sasa nyinyi mnakula mwaka mpya ikiisha.
Ikisha ndo tunakuja kukutembelea. Mwaka bado mchanga boss. Sasa kukuja ndo muhimu. Sasa nike hapo. Sasa so here we go. So basically I'm doing car sourcing on behalf of a few customers, and as soon as I spot a vehicle that have been requested, as for the case of this, I used Suzuki. So if you did photos to this, the customers who were looking for Suzuki slightly used Suzuki Swift. There's one here for you. I'm just about to confirm pricing, though I'm sure for this you'll get it slightly below $1 million Kenyan shillings, slightly below. Atenza, slightly used again. Total Crown KDC. So these are at the same time slightly used. KDC must be a 2012 model. So with this, I anticipate pricings to be like that fair. Though, okay, amazing KDS, Atenza. So at least you can tell Forest right here. The rest here are foreign used vehicles. So to the farthest end, I'll be showing you auction vehicles, very lowly priced auction vehicles. Here, depending on the tonnage, so these are a 2-ton truck, a 3-ton truck, all here for your grab. So these similarly 2-ton tourism business van to get a vehicle as mentioned. So let us proceed with an amazing slightly used school van right here, a Fielder Axio with this 2.1 greatly negotiable. There's a similar Axio right here, amazing Pro Box, slightly this foreign used. From here, so this will be priced at 1.4 greatly negotiable. With this 850,000 Kenyan shillings. If you need to invest in Uber business, these are the Uber business vehicles, all the way to the farthest. To start with the Suzuki Altos, all these are Suzuki Altos, well organized. So at least you can tell that this is amongst the best of car dealership Mombasa ever got. Here a Toyota Probox 1.4 slightly used Suzuki Alto, you'll get this slightly below 800,000 I mean. So suppose any pleases you, feel free to contact me in the comment section. You're right to get to my left, amazing high-end luxury vehicles to include the Porsche Cayenne Fuso. All these are trucks. So take your time. So let me know in the comment section. So we won't be taking that much long since we headed to the next dealership. And remember, we're interested only in dealerships that stocks the best of trims. If you're interested in this business, the honey sucker is right here. If you didn't know, honey sucker, it is good for which business? Sucking honey. The turbo, all heavy commercial trucks are lined up, all here awaiting your grab. To this second phase, amazing, similarly slightly used units. And right here, these vehicles, the V8, perhaps I could have you. So this is priced at 8.5 million. So these are amongst the most expensive vehicles Kushi Motors ever stocks from here. And if you need to know much of details, or it's priced at 8.5 million Kenyan shillings as mentioned. And perhaps all these lined up small trucks. So before you give details on that, let me have your display of the remaining vehicles, used vehicles, locally used. There's a Crown here, a privately used Mazda Bongo over there, every truck, Atlas, a BMW. All these slightly used, very much negotiable. So be very observant. And let me know which vehicle you're looking for. KDP. So there's a Vitz there. So we'll find space here. Let's see what the Vitz got. Upon the vehicles below, slightly below 1 million KDK, you unaweza pata na for 700 negotiable to 650,000. You'd get this. There's a KDQ slightly used Toyota Vitz, amazing. A Lexus here, brand new on stock. So this is a fresh import, a Nissan Serena, a KDQ for this. So now let us finish, let us wind it up. So from here we headed to at least three more dealerships. So about this truck that forms the most of expensive, here we got the Land Cruiser V8 double cab, a pickup, of course, Toyota. The model is Land Cruiser pickup. So the mileage to this unit is 421,000 kilometers. It is diesel propelled. Engine capacity is 4,500. A manual transmission, 4WD, four-wheel driven, grey, of course, in color. The seats, it's got 5 seats, and it has, of course, right-hand drive. So similarly, it's got the hard top of amazing fog lights, well positioned, a high beam LED with daytime running lights, front metal bumper, amazing. So with 8.5, greatly negotiable, you get this. The rest of units are way much negotiable. So our intention was not to take much time from these. That explains why we're taking off and headed to the next dealership. So the next dealership is just but less than 2 kilometers. That will take us less than 3 minutes. In less than 3 minutes we'll be right there, since we cycle at a speed of 1 kilometer per minute. So less than 2 minutes we'll be right there. So if you're looking for any of this high-end luxury to the other end, if you're interested in any unit from here, then feel free, let us know how best you can either directly visit the dealership, or alternatively you may choose to contact me for directions. Suppose you're interested in photos of any unit right here, let me know as we drive off, rather as we cycle off to the next car dealership. So come with me. Range Rovers, you can't fail to get. You can't fail to get high-end classy vehicles. So as you visit the dealership, you are assured of whichever unit you're looking for, be it luxury, high-end luxury. Sientas from 1.8, greatly negotiable. You get this, 8 of this. There's a different color here. This is a 2018. Amazing. Impreza, Suzuki. So with this 1.6, get the Outlander. Right, Range Rovers. So let's move off to the next.
Ali.
So right next, a Toyota Harrier, amazing. So let me know if you've got, how much do you have for this Toyota Harrier? If you've got 4.2, you'll walk away with this unit. Kushi Motors. So let's cycle off. Tajiri yangu nasemaje? Bonyeza bonyeza. Mwaka mpya ndo hiyo. Here we've got Heinz all the way. Toyota Heinz. Range Rovers. Isuzu units. Toyota Hilux. Yeah? Sawa sawa. Sawa, shukran. Gani? Nitarudi. Nikuje tufanye ile kitu, si ndio? Range Rovers. So you can't fail. So let's move off to the next. Sawa, pamoja. Correct. So our next move would be but apparently from here it's not advisable to do filming. Not just advisable, it's not acceptable to do filming. So there's allegedly a high security zone. So now let's move to the next dealership. So the next dealership, what you should be anticipating is just what locally used you should be expecting foreign used vehicles. So stay tuned, this will take just but a little longer before we fix the camera. So for the next dealership, we only anticipate locally used vehicles, lowly priced, I mean fairly priced units. If you're looking for SUVs, hatchbacks, be assured that the next destination is yours. So okay, off we go to the next dealership. So as mentioned, we won't take more than 3 minutes to our next lockup. So if you've never known the location to State House, to my immediate right is the State House. To my left, residentials. Alafu after State House utapata the Ministry ya Immigration. we'll take a left turn. So this is very closer to Fort Jesus. Although we want to head to Fort Jesus. So this is the Ministry of the Ministry of for Interior. So that's where you get your passports from. So we take our left. The right turn heads to the governor's office, alafu left heads to the junction to Mombasa Law Court. So you take this. From Mombasa Law Court, immediate left is the Mombasa Law Courts. Immediate left. This our second car dealership, and finally, so this will be our second last car dealership. The second last dealership we're visiting. So here, expect very amazing, classic, slightly used for utility vehicles. At least you can tell that it's difficult to find, to get here by your own. So I've given directions. Suppose interested in direction with the dealership, that is the directions. Alternatively, you've got an option of contacting me. So if you do that, I'll obviously direct you to the dealership. So let's see what more you've got from here. That's our camera ready to roll. Ready to roll, and off we go. So we'll again park our Mercedes Benz and get in. So this is the next car dealership. You've at one point see me display vehicles from here. So these are slightly used high-end luxury units. So if suppose you're looking for slightly used luxury vehicles, fairly priced units, then this is the right dealership. So meanwhile, if you've stayed with us to this level, you've got no option but to keep subscribed. To begin with, let's start with this Odense. So we've got amazing vehicles from here. So these are at 750,000 for the step wagon. So this is the cheapest Crown at 700,000. It used to be 750, now 700,000. A slightly used Toyota Harriers, you get them all here below 3 million Kenyan shillings. So instead of going for a highly priced Toyota Harrier, come for these slightly used Cruiser Prados Extreme. I'll give price after this, but there's a joke here. So 1.5, very much negotiable. Cruiser TX, a Fielder, 1.35 million. You get the Fielder. There's yet another Juke, 1.5, negotiable. You can get this below 1.5. You got yet another Harrier. Most of the Fielders have been sold. There's a Mercedes C200 here, lowly priced for this one. Perhaps I could have a quick display, like quick shot from the quick frontal shot. Here we go. Alafu 2.1 million Kenyan shillings. Honda Vezel, amazing. KDB, greatly negotiable. Most vehicles from here have been sold out. There's the Vezel KDN, slightly 2.3, greatly negotiable from 2.3. You'll get one. Okay, on pricing to the rest, let me know if interested in pricing to any of this in the comment section. Just master, so these are a Hilux KDS. Just master the plate number and let me know for photos, for directions, for specs. I'll do that on your behalf. So KCU Harrier, I mean Toyota Prado, another Prado, yet another Prado, an X-Trail here. Lots of Prados. Prados are crowding a Honda Outlander, amazing Subaru. Got more Prados. So those are, so this Fielder stands out. It's by 1.4, though I'm sure if you come with 1.35 you'll get it. So let's drive off, let's cycle off. Vipi bro? Unasemaje? Habari ya mwaka mpya? Nzuri, toa mimi hata kuja. Hai bwana, wewe kuwa unakuja hapa mwaka jana. Unaona mwaka huu. Toa mimi bwana. Naje lakini. Tuko sawa? Toa mimi mzee. Alafu kunywa soda ndugu yangu. Itabidi. Itabidi tu. Leo ni mwaka mpya. Naona mmefunga stock. Stock aje? Stock zimepungua sana boss. Imeenda mzee, lakini sasa tunashukuru tumerudi. Bonyeza. Si unaona sasa. Sasa itategemea kama ipo. Unajua ipo sababu kazi imefanyika. Kazi inachapwa. Stock gani uko? Hujapunguza bei hii. Bado bwana, gari anasijika kama itahusika na hiyo ndugu yangu. Mzee amekwamilia hapo kwa hilo. Gani imeshuka bei sasa? Mimi naona Fielder ndio imeshuka 50. Sasa iko ngapi? 1450. 1450 ama. Ulikuwa unakwambia ngapi zamani? Ndio hapo 1450 bado tu. Nasikia kiambia 1450 but tunaweza ongea. 1.4 atachukua si ndio? Unakwambia but tunaweza ongea. Tunaweza ongea. Tuona hivyo. Maanisha inashuka zaidi. Itaanguka. Lakini nimekuja mwaka mpya. Sisi tuko sawa. Bwana mwaka huu watu hawataki asili. Tunashukuru kweli. Mwaka soge mzuri bwana. Kweli. Karibu ndugu yangu. Mimi nilikuwa nakurumisha ile Fielder. Kwani Fielder? Ya 1450 unasema hii KDH ama ile black? Mimi naona nakwambia zote nimesikia zote akisema zote KDH. Cruiser uko na bei gani Cruiser? Cruiser gani? Hizi Cruiser una? Unajua bei sasa mpaka kule. Mimi nimesikia tu akiambia jamaa mwingine asubuhi. Ameamua kushuka. Sawa. Sasa Mbuga utampa. Sasa nitaongea na Mbuga basi. Hii yake kama 1.3. So ongea si ndio? 1.2. 1.2. Sawa, nikipata mte. Sawa pamoja. Ulikuwa unasema hii? Jambo. Sawa. Also, if you need pricings in the comment section, ask for photos, ask for pricing to whichever unit that could have, please do. So out of all this, according to me, what stands out, what will I have it for? Is it the C200? C200 and perhaps this. So if you're looking for a budget friendly Land Cruiser Prados, then this is the right dealership. So the moment you get here, there are different modes of payment here to include higher purchase terms of payment and what basis again. You can similarly come with cash payment. So with 70%, more than 70%, you'll drive your way all the way with any of units from here. For instance, we could give an example of this. So with 2.1, you could deposit from 1.5 and drive it off. The rest, I've not given you pricings to every vehicle here since it's been a while since we visited here. So as soon as I'm conversant with the pricings, as soon as you have me contacted, then it would just be my duty to have you informed on pricings. So we now headed to the cheapest dealership now. So from here we headed to now the dealership with the best offers. So I guess you love this. You must love this. So let's off we go. I mean, so this is an old class C240. I guess someone should be coming for this S240. Gold is gold. Apparently lately the old modeled vehicles have turned out to be amongst the best units. So ask for pricings from this. So let's move off to the next dealership. And here we go. So we take off again our Mercedes C200 and we'll be cycling. So this unit got a very high horsepower. You personally witnessed how fast it is to move in this machine. So the next dealership in the next 1 minute is just adjacent, just right next here. You can even decide to go on foot though. Let me cycle you off to the next. So fixing off my camera to the Mercedes C200 will take a little longer, so stay tuned. In the comment section you'll find my contacts. In the comment section is my contacts for directions, for reservation. So basically from here you can tell that your car sourcing journey through Max Gamble TV will be that easy. Not that easy, very easy. So in less than 2 minutes you get to the next dealership. So here again we get vehicles that are fairly priced, locally used vehicles, fairly priced. So at least you can tell the more we travel, the cheaper the vehicles become. So the closer you get to the CBD, the cheaper, so which is amazing. So we're now drawing closer to the CBD. So here we are at the next dealership. Though I'm tempted to move to them. I'm tempted to head to Rocky Motors. So the next time I'll show you vehicles from here in our next video. Though for now let's head to locally used vehicles. Magari za wananchi, bei ya mkulima, magari za bei za ukulima, amazing. So from here you can enjoy the city drive. So if you're very keen, remember this is not just about car sourcing. So this is about urban cycling. This is about exercise. This is about car sourcing, of course. So this is now the Mombasa CBD. You can tell from the modern types of buildings from here, the modern infrastructure, the restaurants, the city got. So I guess you're wondering if you'll find a vehicle of choice for today, and the next cycle will answer your questions. Our next cycle, we're now looking for vehicles below 200,000, I mean below 700,000 cash shillings. And this is the next dealership. So as you cycle along Mombasa CBD, it's advisable to be very keen. So that's why we reduced our speed tutaki machanganyiko Taki mchanga. Our next dealership, Rocky Motors. Wala wanatafuta magari za bei ya chini ya milioni moja. This is your video, so come with me. Castle Royals is the landmark opposite Kingdom Bank. NCBA Bank, you can tell. So kabla ufike pembe za ndogo, take the right turn. A very heavy traffic though. Here we go, the next dealership, Rocky Motors. So all the way you get Modrix Auto, the first dealership, AutoZone Motors, the second, alafu kuna hii luxury vehicles. Finally off we go to Rocky Motors. So this will be our last video for today. Mheshimiwa, niaje? Anaje mheshimiwa? Alafu basi mnataka hot. Tunataka lift. Hii bwana. Hii niaje? Hii bwana niaje? Tuko sawa. Unaona kuna mteja? Niko na huyu mzee, ni rafiki yangu. Nataka ni mteja. Aniambie tutembee kidogo. Lazima atakusaidia, utapata mashine. Tembeze. Bwana. Sawa.
Ndio huwa nakaa sana bila kutembea. Ndio tembea. Wacha nitembee.
Sina kutafuta.
Sasa mbona unitafuti bwana?
Sahihi tu. Wewe
kwanza fanya hivi. Fanya hivi. Wallahi kama 20 minutes nipigie simu.
Sawa,
nataka kuongea na wewe.
Sawa. Serious. Naingia hapa Rocky. Aje bro. Habari ya asubuhi. Nataka kuchungulia mashine hapa. Kuchungulia stock updates. Nataka customer muhimu, si ndio? Natoka hapa kwa ajili hiyo. Watafutia wateja. Advertise. Sasa nipaka Mercedes yangu hapa kidogo. Dakika mbili tu narudi. So this is now the famous Rocky Motors. If you've been looking for slightly used, locally used vehicles, then this is your dealership. So our intention was to head to this dealership, of course, although we had to take lots of rounds to showcase the rest of dealership. So from which you can tell that, of course, this is amongst the best dealership when it gets to locally used vehicles. So the difference in pricings here could greatly shock you. For instance, Toyota Vitz, let's start with Toyota Vitz. From 650,000 to 750,000 you get Toyota Vitz. So that is the ranging pricings of Toyota Vitz from here. The first Vitz, so these are KDM, so these are a little expensive since it's a later number. Then you get this below a million cash shillings, below 900,000 cash shillings. KDM, if you need the KDM, let me know. So with this KDP Paso below 650,000 cash shillings, you grab this. There's an Auris. You know, it's very difficult to find Toyota Auris lately, and this is amongst the best Toyota Auris. So the Toyota Auris was discontinued. The production of Toyota Auris was discontinued. That's why most Auris are highly priced, and which explains the 1.4 million cash shillings attached to this greatly negotiable Paso KCU. If you need this unit, you'll come with slightly below 800,000. You'll get that unit. To be precise, for this, you'll get it at 680,000. I've given you, this is good for Uber. For he 650, below 650 you get that. Below 650, I'm referring to it getting to even below 500,000 Kenya shillings. 500,000. Kuna hii KCP slightly used. Alafu kuna gari ya matatu here, amazing. Wala mekuwa kitafuta Toyota Heinz KCS. So was this privately used? Not, I can't tell that, though it apparently looks good from the exterior. So I can guess this amongst the fair Toyota Heinz you can find in town, KCS. So if you need pricings in the comment section, you let me know. Hapa kuna ma Probox Lexus Classy Probox here below 800,000 Kenya shillings. You grab that. Hii ukikuja hata na 480 you get this unit. KDM 1.2 KDM Toyota Probox with 1.1. You try visit. I've given directions, so for one simple reason. So the reason being, you physically visiting the dealership, or alternatively contacting me for directions, contacting me for photos, contacting me for a Nissan Note there, Nissan March, KDA. Below 650 you grab this KDA. So this stands out for the Vitz KDV. Slightly used, these unities, and slightly used as it is. So annual will cost 1.3. So this from 1.2 negotiable, you'll grab this, it will get to 1.1. So basically that is an overall kuna 1.4. Unapata hii wish greatly negotiable, it will get to 1.3. Who knows, KD Paso. So let me know which vehicle will most please you from here before we consider getting to the next dealership. Here we've got Nissan Serena. Come for the Serena. The Sai is just coming in. Toyota Sai KDE, amazing. Hapa pia kuna Land Cruiser TX. So ask for pricing. So basically that is much we got for today's tour. That is much we have for our today's cycling tour. So this was just more than cycling, this was more than car sourcing. This was a blend of therapy, this was a blend of city history. I mean, this is more of adventure, a vehicle adventure video. So as we wind it up, I'll be winding it up at this straight headed for a refresher. And where are we getting the refresher? We're getting the refreshment from Pembes and Ovo. So it's been an hour, less than an hour. From my video I can tell it's 50 minutes, exactly 50 minutes of cycling and car dealership review for the vehicle display. So off we go to Pembes and Ovo. We are going to have a short break at Pembes and Ovo and consider if we could proceed with our next cycle. Our next cycle could lead to railways. If you're looking for vehicles now below 300,000 Kenya shillings, so this is your video now. Below 300,000 Kenya shillings, auctioned vehicles with directions. I'll give you directions. So fixing our camera to the Mercedes C200 will take a little longer, so just stay tuned, and as soon as I am done, off we go. So let's take this route. Shukran bro. Asa. The next dealership. Break at Pembes and Ovo, we'll straight head to railways. Our final cycle, that is railways. Let's take the Pembes and Ovo route. Let's straight head to railways. So if you've never seen the famous Makindeni, I'm a big Pembes and Ovo, horns of a rhino. And then here we go. take a short break here kabla tuendelee na safari.
Location mana
So let's take a short break. Kutoka hapa so hapa inajulikana kama Pembe za Ndovu. So this place is historic. This place is historic in the sense that way back in, as you can tell, it's just closer to Pembe za Ndovu. A quick history about Pembe za Ndovu. I've done that in a previous video. This used to be, okay, it is of course a recreational center. You can tell from the ancient baobab trees. These are a reflection of history preservation. So over time, so this place was secluded as a public park. It's normally frequently visited by tourists. Of course, it's got colonial history. By colonial history, we referring to the times of the Queen Elizabeth's visit, the first visit of Queen Elizabeth that saw the erection of the Pembe za Ndovu in respect of the then colonial leaders' visit to Mombasa, Kenya. So apparently the Pembe za Ndovu used to be hidden, and it used to be just but a little hidden horn structure. Iconic, of course it is. It used to symbolize colonization and perhaps the love of ivory by the colonialist. So over time, the wooden structure was made better with reference to assist from the military by then. And lately you can tell Mombasa Cement lately stands out to be amongst the charitable organizations that is responsible for maintenance of the same. So the Pembe za Ndovu is a historic colonial icon. So anytime you visit Mombasa, Kenya, so these are amongst the places that you don't want to fail to visit. So this is similarly historic. Much of history to this is linked to colonialism. Is that the right English? A map of Kenya, a map of Africa, as you can tell. Madagascar, is this Madagascar? Kenya is around here with a stretch of the Indian Ocean all the way. Indian Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean to the farthest end. So basically that is much. We'll have a quick break from here and head next to our next destination. So thanks again for staying by. If suppose you watched our video to this level, you don't have an option but to subscribe to our YouTube channel. So perhaps we could end this at this. As you wait for our next video, we'll do our next video on auctioned. I'll be directing you to the best of auctioned vehicles dealership and foreign used vehicles dealership in our next video. So thanks again for staying by. Till we meet again in our next one. Our intention was to have it for exactly 1 hour cycle, and off we go, 1, 2, and there we are.